Hi there. So over a couple of days, I had a few clients, or will I say a few friends, were sitting over some bottle of drinks and we're having some arguments regarding land versus building investment, which is more valuable. We've had, some clients from the diaspora also reach out regarding this very topic, and today we took it upon ourselves to talk about this very topic, to look at it from an investment point of view: land versus building. Now, I want us to take notes. All of them are very good, but I want us to take note of this term investment, because this is the base upon which we are going to listen out our points today. So I'm going to give you 10 points to you, and you will be the judge which is more valuable. Comparing the both of them, point number one: land appreciates faster than building. Reasons being that many a times when it has to do with land, you don't need to do so much on the land. As a matter of fact, buildings depreciate with time. The buildings dilapidate. Building structures needs to be renovated for it to maintain its value. But land we buy, and with infrastructure obviously comes appreciation in the land. What is our point number two? Land has lower maintenance costs. That is to say, with land, you don't need things like plumbing jobs, you don't need things like painting, you don't need things like roofing, renovation, cleaning, and the rest of them. As a matter of fact, land cannot be stolen. So once you buy a piece of land, the land remains the way it is until it appreciates. And as we know, land must always appreciate. A piece of land in Abuja today is not sold at the same amount which was sold about 10 to 15 years ago. Number 3 point, there is better ROI. Like I said in a video I did earlier before now, ROI means return on investment. So you buy a piece of land today, for instance, for 15 naira, give it 2 3 years, you can never sell that same piece of land for 15 naira as it is that you bought, today. You will definitely sell it with some level of interest above of it. When it comes to building, obviously, for you to be able to sell that building higher than the way it was when you first built it, you have to do some level of renovations to maintain it. And what is our number 4 point as to why land is more valuable? Flexibility. Land is flexible. How do I mean? If you have a piece of land, you can decide to build anything on the land. You can decide to build a football, let's say an agricultural farm can decide to be on the land. You can decide to build a hotel. You can decide to build a shopping complex. It could be a residential structure. It could be a plaza, just anything at all, a warehouse, whatever it is, office complex can be on that piece of land. As a matter of fact, a communication network can decide to lease your land and put their mast on it. Now, what is the number 5 reason? Land has a lower investment risk. How do I mean by this? You don't have to start thinking about the structural defects when it has to do with land. You don't have to start thinking of tenancy issues. You don't have to start thinking of flood. You don't have to start thinking of fire hazard or any of those other things that comes with structure. Once you buy a piece of land is there until when you are ready to sell it. Now, what is our number 6 reason? When it comes to population growth, land supports population growth. What does that mean? In a city like Abuja, where population keeps on increasing year in, year out, thousands of people move into the city, there is more need for land. Why? Because of this very point here, the land is very flexible. In a place like Lagos today, where we have a lot of structures, there is a reason why the Federal Capital Territory was moved from Lagos down to Abuja. And that is obviously because of the fact that most of the landed properties, or most of the land within Lagos were already occupied. Abuja has vast land, and that is why if you look at it, it still boils down to land being very, very valuable. Our number 7 reason why land is more valuable than building. Land creates generational wealth. Well, most of the very wealthy families today around the world, they didn't get wealthy as a result of structures, building structures. They got wealthy as a result of land. Land, the structure upon which anything human existence is on. As a matter of fact, when you have land, complexes can be built on these lands. When you have lands, you can lease to government parastatals, you can lease to big corporate entities and the likes of others. What is our number 8 reason why land is very valuable? We have easy entry. Land in a place like Rika, for instance, some of our properties we have installment plans. You can barely get these in building structures except you want to go for mortgage. And mortgage, you obviously know, as you pay for these mortgages, you have to maintain these structures. So, but with land, you can pay instrumentally for 2 years, you can pay instrumentally for 3 years. Although Rika, we have 9 months, we have 6 months, we have 3 months payment plan. You can do this, and your land remains the way it is from the very moment you enter into that installment plan. Now, what is our number 9 reason as to why land is very valuable? Infrastructure drives return on investment. In Abuja, for instance, you get to see there are lots of infrastructural activities going on. In the express road leading to Kuje, for instance, recently the road has just been completed with street lights even on the road. A couple of weeks ago, Wike, the Minister of the FCT, went to the Apo Expressway and commissioned that road, which tells you that lands around those axes already have experienced appreciation. Obviously, because the things that makes land appreciate are infrastructures that come around those axes. And then, what is our number 10 points as to why land? Land is an infinite resource. So what this means, in essence, is that land cannot be recreated. Like God created the world once, and we can't stretch the land that we already have on ground. Land has been created already. The highest that can happen when it is sold out, you can only buy the structure that is on the land and rebuild another structure on it. So with all of these my points, I believe you can now get to understand with me or agree with me why land, when it comes to investment, is more valuable than building. But don't get me wrong, I never said buildings are not valuable. It depends on the context with which you're looking at it. So until next time, it's bye for now.